and continues to captivate us to this day. It's Earth's only natural satellite, making one complete revolution around it every 27 days or so. The moon is the second brightest object in the sky, next to the sun, but the moon doesn't actually make any light of its own. The light you see is actually from the sun, reflecting off the surface of the moon. It's kind of like shining a flashlight on something in a dark room. Right. The moon doesn't always appear as a perfect circle. It goes through phases. Sunlight strikes the moon at different angles throughout its journey around the Earth. The way the moon looks to us depends on how much of the moon's illuminated side is visible to us at the time. The moon may take 27.3 days to orbit the Earth, but the time from one full moon to the next is 29.5 days because the Earth is also moving in relation to the sun. We call this period from one full moon to the next a lunar month, by the way. Moon watching is a fun thing to do. The moon is an average of about 380,000 kilometers from the Earth, which is pretty close when you're talking about space. Because of its proximity, you don't need a telescope to see the features on the moon's surface. The dark patches are sunken plains called seas, or maria, which is Latin for ocean. No, they're just called that. There's no liquid water on the moon, but there is some water in the form of ice. Recently, a NASA spacecraft discovered almost 100 kilograms of ice and water vapor near the moon's south pole. Yep, it's possible there's lots more buried just underneath the surface, but I wouldn't count on, a skating rink or anything like that. The lighter patches are mountains. And armed with a pair of binoculars, on a clear night, you may be able to see the craters formed by ancient meteor collisions. Well, there's a lot of debate as to how the moon got there in the first place. Some scientists believe that it may have just formed along with the Earth from the initial cloud of gas and dust that formed our solar system. Another idea is that Moon was once part of the Earth and broke off for some reason. It might have just been floating through the solar system and got captured by the Earth's gravity. Still another theory suggests that a rogue planet, about the size of Mars, smashed into the Earth, creating a cloud of molten rock that eventually condensed into the moon we see today. No one really knows for sure. Regardless of how it formed, the moon is basically a ball of igneous rock with a small core of iron and sulfur. It has a rocky crust consisting of aluminum and calcium. You can find bigger moons in the solar system, but ours is the biggest compared to the size of the mother planet. It's large enough to pull up the waters of the Earth, causing tides. Still, gravity on the moon is only 1/6 of Earth's. That means a 60-pound bag of typewriter parts would only weigh 10 pounds on the moon. And because the moon has no atmosphere, there's nothing for sound waves to travel through. So even if I yelled right in his ear, Moby still wouldn't be able to hear me. Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? On July 20th, 1969, the landing module Eagle from the Apollo 11 mission touched down on the surface of the moon. They collected some samples and then blasted off, leaving this plaque behind. Here, men from the planet Earth first set foot upon the moon. We came in peace for all mankind. The first moon landing, as far as I'm concerned, is one of the greatest moments in human history.